All right, so we're gonna do a couple different things. There's a couple different ways people will stand up to break your guard. First one, let me do this. So, number one, he's gonna try to get this, right? So I want to try to break something, right? Try to fight this. Try not to give him my arm, right? So if he's starting to set this up, that's fine. I'm trying not to give him one. I'm going to make him stand up without doing it. So if you ever roll with me, just see me hide this arm because I'm not going to give it to him, right? Unless I'm trying to get something here, then I'm taking the chance of him getting it. But if I know he wants to get this sleeve and stand up, which is how I'm teaching you guys to do it most of the time, I'm just going to hide it, right? Make him get impatient, right? Right? Make him just, so he might grab my hip, right? And stand up anyway, right? So when he does that, I have two different ways I can go about it. I can either go right in on a sweep here, or if I get these cuffs, I can do something different as he's standing up. I can either break it on my terms, or I can wait for him to open it, which is not going to be good if he opens it now, right? This is going to give him an opportunity to pass. So at first, we're going to do two easy, or this one's a little harder, but the second one will be an easier sweep. He's going to go ahead and stand up, but I'm going to get under this leg because he doesn't have control of my arm. Here, okay? So notice I'm bicep deep on this leg, and I'm holding his cuff, okay? It didn't stop him from standing up, but now I'm going to chop this over my head as I turn my hips to the right. I'm just going to turn him out on this knee, okay? So I'm going to chop and turn my hips to the right. Here, I sit up on my elbow, I have the sleeve, come up on my hand, and I'm going to turn my hips over to help me free my legs. I want to land on my side so it doesn't hurt my ankles or anything. So now I turn them and come up to the top. You can go this way this time. There. I'm not giving him that. He finally stands up. Here, I'm going to pop and turn. Here, here. So I'm just going to clear that leg, turn my knees, and settle on a high mount. I don't want him sitting on my ankles, right? I don't want him falling straight back with my ankles like this. That's not going to be good for me. It won't feel good for him either, okay? I need to land on my hip, which is going to cause him to land on his hip. If I have this countermeasure, right, I can just pull myself up on top, right? I should fly up there right with him without having to make it difficult to come up. Does that make sense? Any questions there?
Yeah, so the free arm they have, if they dig that in and like kind of keep themselves propped up when you're trying to mount, like?
It shouldn't be able to, I'm already in mount. Now he could try to get his, talking about digging this arm when I
yeah, like just propping himself up, kind of, so it's hard to knock him all the way over to his back.
So
like he's posting hard on it.
So he's gonna post this arm as he hits?
Well, not, yeah.
Here?
Yeah. And
right? So whose hips are on top?
Yeah.
So it's gonna mean, even if he tries to come up on his hand, right? Turn it over.
You just keep raising your hips.
Yeah, my hips are already above his hips. I should win the exchange.
Okay.
Now, if I fall asleep and I let him scoot out when he gets up on that hand or something like that, then yes. But generally on those kind of exchanges like that, I'm always yelling at you to get your hips above their hips. I should be me winning the exchange. I'm already essentially mounted. I just need to come all the way up. My legs are already wrapped around it. So if I fall to my side, I should be able to come up on my elbow, then hand very quickly. And I should already be past his leg, right? So at that point, it should be hard for him to push me back. Now, if it was something where I was doing like a tripod sweep or something, I just sit like this, and he has equal opportunity to sit back into me, it's a lot harder.
Yeah.
In this case, I'm already on top of his hips. It should be harder for him to come up. Does that make sense? Easier for me, harder for him.
Right.
All right. Any questions on anything else?
Yeah, Dave, so from Cam's perspective, we should never stand up unless we have your arm?
No, I mean, because there are going to be times where they're just not going to let you do it. But also we got to be mindful of what we're doing, right? So if he is hiding his
I just feel like I'm in excess.
Right, so I go here, he grabs my sleeve, right? If I know that this is an option, he's hiding that arm, he's just not giving it to me, right?
Yeah.
So I stand up, here.
Yeah.
Number one, as I come up, I want to pinch my knee, right? He doesn't have control of this arm. So that makes it hard, in a lot of cases, for him to get advantage of that. I have to time that before he's kind of taking my foot up, right? If I let myself get tall and he already gets underneath and chops at that foot and he turns his hips, like I've been on both sides of it, right? A lot of times I know if I have that hand, he has that hand available because I didn't control it. That should be the first thing that I'm looking at from my perspective to make sure I don't allow him to get an advantage of me on me.
Quickly turn that knee.
Yes. So I will turn my knee in. This is kind of a side quest here, but it does make sense. It's a good question. So if I'm controlling his hips, I'm gonna stand up, right? Pinch my knee into his hips, right? Try not to let him hip over to his right side, right?
Yeah.
So I have control here,
Gotcha.
right? If he had control of this sleeve, I'd be vulnerable for an omoplata here. But because he doesn't, right, and I pinch my knee in, I can kind of clear my arm here, right? And then I just kind of turn him,
Yeah.
okay? That's just one option, but yes, there are gonna be situations where you gotta stand up, but not everything's optimal. At some point, people get good enough, if you're patient enough, you can get it, right? But sometimes, either you don't have time, or you've been through this back and forth with the person, they're just not gonna give it to you. So you're gonna have to, there's other ways to break the guard too, and we may talk about that tonight too. All right, let's try it. 1, 2, 3. All right, we're gonna do one more. So sometimes people, like, I'm not giving him that collar and sleeve thing to grab so he can set it up. So a lot of times people will, or that's just the way they break guard. They'll go double collars and they'll go into your armpits to control your posture or your ability to sit up. So he's gonna kind of get into my armpits. I'm gonna make tricep grips. It could be double sleeve grips, that's okay too. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna show it probably with tricep grips just due to the length of his arms. So here, he goes into my armpits to try, he's just gonna stand up with both. So some people will come up real fast, just, right? So now I'm already in here. I open and lock his legs. So do it one more time. Right, so he comes up, just try to pop up real quick. Here. So I want to lock right at his knees. Here, I just want to twist my knees and turn his arms. Here, and come on top. Sometimes you can get them out. A lot of times his knees are going to pop up through. It just depends. That's okay. Right, I have him in a smash. Right, and I'm already over here. It is simple. Part of it is just timing. Right? I want to open it at the right time as he's getting tall and just close on those legs. Right? I don't have to sweep him right away. He can't go anywhere. Okay? I'm just going to close right at both knees. Go this way. All right, comes up. Here. Turn. Come up. All right, so right now I have both of his legs controlled. And basically, I can go from this grip. You were still holding here, right? Okay. All right, I have here, I get head and arm control. All right, I can almost go to mount from there. It just depends on how they fall. Okay? But go right to those legs when they open up. And just come up quick. Here. Right? And then here, I just twist, turn. Come up. If you have sleeve grips, let me do it with sleeve grips instead of the triceps. All right, grab here. Now I have this. Just turn them. Come up. All right. That grip on the cuff is going to be 4 fingers on the outside. So thumb in to get it. 4 fingers, thumb is not in there. So I can't keep anything on the inside of his sleeve. All right. If I'm getting his triceps, I'm just going to grab here. Okay. Any questions on that? Ready to do it? All right, let's try it. 1, 2, 3.